here. Detectives want to locate Andre Bell. Officers responded to a shooting at an apartment complex on McClelland Avenue earlier this week. When they arrived, police found the victim in the bedroom of an apartment dead. They confirm the woman was shot by her child's father, which is Bell. Police say the getaway vehicle was found abandoned in Twiggs County, south of Macon. Officers say Bell traveled from Rockledge, Florida. 26 people are now in custody and charged with sexual exploitation of children. Investigators call the sting operation Sneaky Peach. The Georgia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force executed 34 residential search warrants across 28 counties in the state. Investigators seized 281 electronic devices in the investigation. The operation also identified 30 children living in households where child sexual exploitation was happening.
All new at 6, Atlanta police need help in an ongoing Southwest Atlanta burglary investigation. Officers were called to an apartment complex on Oglethorpe Avenue. They looked at surveillance video which showed a man stealing items from the maintenance room. Investigators say a second person was also involved in that break-in. Call Crime Stoppers if you have any information that can help police. Well, new at 6, a student at East Coweta High School was found with a loaded gun on campus. According to Coweta deputies, school administrators got an anonymous tip that a student had a gun. School resource officers found the student and quickly removed him from class to investigate. Officials say he had a loaded .40 caliber pistol. The school district says the student was removed and will face serious legal consequences.
Police have given the all clear after a reported suspicious package at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. It was outside the international terminal around 10:30 this morning. Officials closed the terminal and the roads around the airport. Airport officials have not given any details about what led to the package's discovery. It says the airport prepares for a busy Labor Day weekend. TSA expects to screen almost 450,000 passengers in Atlanta during the Labor Day weekend from today through Tuesday.
Well, today was a great start, was it not? I mean, Chief Meteorologist David Chanley told us it was going to be nice in the wake of Idalia, and it was perfect.
I was going to say, hard to believe there was a hurricane in the state just 24 hours ago.
And that's the way these things work. You know, the big tropical systems, they're on the planet as heat transfer mechanisms. So it takes all the heat and humidity and moves it on out, and on the backside of it, you get a little drier air, and even a little cooler air in some spots, and that's what we're experiencing right now. Take a look at what it looks like from our 101 Marietta camera right through the heart of downtown Atlanta. Temperature now at 86, hit 87 this afternoon. That's right on target for this time of year, but the dew point there in the upper 60s, a little nicer than with all that tropical air that rolled through here, especially part of the southern suburbs over the past couple of days. All right, temperatures in the metro area, look at them, low, mid 80s in a lot of spots. A warm location, Dunwoody right now at 89. Putnam County, you're at 88, but you hit 90 this afternoon. 70s up in the mountains of North Georgia. We take a look at our satellite imagery, and then off to the side there is Idalia moving on out in the Atlantic as a post-tropical cyclone, so still along that. But you look down the Gulf of Mexico, there's a little few showers, thunderstorms, a little dotted line there is a trough, and it's just going to kind of drift northbound, and with it, going to bring in the chance of some showers to our south early tomorrow morning, but just a slight chance. It's not a big deal. Temperature-wise tonight, we're in the 80s, and then we'll settle down in the 70s and stop into the 60s or so by early tomorrow morning. Wake-up readings right there in the mid to upper 60s, and then highs tomorrow afternoon. Now, we're going to have an easterly wind, and so that's going to temper the temperature a little bit. Look at that. We're keeping in the upper 70s and low 80s in a lot of spots, but 70s to the south. They'll have more clouds and a risk of a shower down there in the southern suburbs. We'll talk about what's ahead for the rest of the holiday weekend and temperatures on the climb. All that coming your way at the bottom of the hour.
Fortunately, we have not had the same type of loss of life that we've had with something like a Hurricane Ian. So far there's been one confirmed fatality, and that was a traffic fatality in Alachua County. So in terms of this big storm surge that we've seen, and you see the remnants of it here with the water line, we have not yet had a confirmed fatality as a result of that.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says there's a lot of work that has to be done to help the state bounce back from Hurricane Idalia. Idalia moves into the Atlantic Ocean now, and people across the southeast are adding up the damage. Fox's Caroline Shively has the details.
Dahlia weakened as it moved off the North Carolina coast on Thursday, but not before pummeling the state with heavy rain and tropical storm force winds. In South Carolina, crews were out removing water and debris from the roads. Folks there, though, grateful they were spared the worst of the storm.
We thought that if it had been raining, it would have been 5 more inches and we all have been in water in the first floor. This was a big relief.
But it's a different story farther south, where Idalia left a mark on Florida's Big Bend region. On Thursday, President Biden approved a disaster declaration, freeing up federal aid for recovery efforts.
Our nation has your back, and we're not going to walk away. We're not going to give up. We're not going to slow down.
Emergency officials say the biggest challenge remains restoring power to the thousands of homes and businesses.
We have miles and miles and miles of rural area that may service 1 or 2 residents.
Search crews are on the ground looking for anyone in need of help. Governor Ron DeSantis says by Wednesday night about 40 successful rescues had taken place. That number, though, much lower than expected, partly because the storm hit in a lightly populated area.
There was definitely a lot of destruction, but it was so much debris and so much woods, and that's just going to require a lot to be able to clean all that up.
Initial damage estimates now top $9 billion. In Carolina Beach, North Carolina, I'm Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Here in Georgia, officials say one person was killed in Lyons in Toombs County after a tree fell on a car. Officials also confirmed there were minor injuries that happened during the event. 2 shelters are available at this time with 44 individuals displaced. They say last night at least 277,000 customers were without power, and as of this morning, crews have worked to get that number down to 1.
Private sector companies like utilities, rural water, and other that have worked throughout the night. Just an amazing response. They've gotten a lot done, and we know today with the weather clearing and getting a full day of daylight to be able to work, we're excited about that. And I just want to thank them for literally moving in right on the heels of the storm yesterday and working through the night.
Tomorrow, Governor Brankin plans to tour the damage.
Atlanta police are looking for at least 2 men they say shot and killed a 6-month-old baby. 2 other people also injured in the shooting. I'm Eric Perry, the latest, just ahead.
And I'm Angelique Proctor. What led to an 18-year-old being shot in an upscale Midtown Atlanta apartment complex? I'll have that story straight ahead.
The Volkswagen Taos. German engineering everyone can relate to. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today and get 3.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new 2023 SUVs.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X is equipped to conquer the great outdoors. Or the great indoors. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. Or get 0.9% APR plus $750 purchase cash on 2023 Sierra Denali 5.3-liter V8 light-duty models. Plus, get $2,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
It's bow time. This Bojangles Bacon Scratch Biscuit is so good, we gave it a sidekick that's just as never frozen, just as fluffy, just as delicious. We call them the Buttermilk Fuse. Get 2 sausage and egg biscuits for just $6. It's bow time.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get up to $6,500 off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today. Patio enclosures. Georgia Power is here with a little reminder of how easy it is to save energy at home. Because it's often as simple as a twist. Or as easy as a lift. It could be a little squeeze, or maybe just a pull. These small changes can make a big difference, helping you save energy for the bigger things in life. Visit GeorgiaPower.com for tips and programs to help save energy and money.
Everyone loves more of a good thing.
More.
Miss Moore was no different. As her name suggested, she loved more.
More?
So when Miss Moore was injured, she called Morgan & Morgan. With more lawyers, more offices, and more than $15 billion recovered, she didn't have to ask for more anymore. When you're injured, you deserve more.
One more?
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Let me help you with that. No, I'm good, man. Thanks.
Everyone can use a little help. Volkswagen Tiguan with Front Assist. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today and get 3.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new 2023 SUVs.
One man changed everything. I'm gonna give you that. Your winning team hustle Big 12 Power Hour. We bring heat. They know it's prime time.
Every week we go inside Georgia's elite football program, talking to the team, making it happen. Watch Kirby Smart, All Access, Mondays at 7 on Fox 5.
We're learning the name of the 6-month-old baby killed in a triple shooting in southwest Atlanta.
Police say it happened just after 8 at the Hills at Greenbrier apartment complex on Campbellton Road, and Fox 5's Eric Perry is live outside the complex tonight with the latest. Eric?
Yeah, Russ, Christine, whenever we talk about loss of life, always heartbreaking, but we're talking about a 6-month-old baby, now identified as Charles Watkins Jr. Atlanta police say they believe this attack was targeted.
Many in Southwest Atlanta are still working to wrap their heads around Wednesday night's triple shooting that left a 6-month-old dead and 2 adults injured. The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office identified the baby as Charles Watson Jr.
This was a targeted incident. It appears that this is stemming from an incident that happened in May of earlier this year at the same location.
We talked with Atlanta's Deputy Chief Charles Hampton Jr. shortly after the shooting Wednesday night. He says investigators are looking for at least 2 shooters believed to be in a light-colored 4-door sedan. One woman described the terrifying moments after the shots were fired. Many are just too afraid to talk on camera. They say the victims were inside a car when it happened.
I heard a woman yelling, saying that someone shot my baby, call 911.
Thursday, we saw many damaged vehicles being taken away. I'm told they were damaged as the suspects tried to get away.
6-month-old being killed, that's pretty tragic.
Clayton Bell has had a business nearby since 1990. He says something has to be done.
There's been violence in this apartment complex in this area for quite some time, the last 30 years. We need more gun control. People here need more things to do with their time, more activities for the youth. And we've seen a steady flow of APD officers coming in and out throughout the day here. Here's what we know about the other 2 victims. A 23-year-old man in critical condition. We're told a 27-year-old woman was taken to the hospital in stable condition. If you know anything about this shooting, but also the shooting that happened earlier and may come forward, of course, you can remain anonymous. In Southwest Atlanta, I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
All right, Eric, terribly sad what happened there. Thank you. Atlanta police are trying to figure out what led to a man being shot in the parking deck of a Midtown apartment complex. That shooting happened on Bishop Street overnight. Now, just last month, a 26-year-old woman was shot and killed at that same parking garage. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor is looking into what happened at the Mark at West Midtown. Angelique?
Good evening, Russ. Several residents tell us they are very concerned about safety after this second shooting in as many months. Now, we talked to a young man who says that his car was broken into just before this shooting.
I was concerned about his car damages. We ended up going with the auto body shop. It's most likely total.
22-year-old Anaya Israel is frustrated. She has been told her boyfriend's car is likely totaled after it took 5 to 6 bullets this morning. Atlanta police say there was a shooting around 2:30 Thursday in the parking garage at the Mark at West Midtown apartment complex.
There was someone coming to break into cars, which is an Atlanta issue. So someone was coming into our parking deck to steal and break into cars. And after they broke into my boyfriend, on their way to the other cars to break in, the owner of the car came out, and that's when initiated the shootout.
Atlanta police will not say what led up to the shooting on Bishop Street, but residents say the man who was shot was breaking into cars. This morning's shooting is on the heels of a 26-year-old woman being shot and killed in the same parking garage last month.
Our safety is a concern. Being that we were told that security is supposed to be here every night from 8 to 6 a.m., which could stop this from happening. You know, my guests don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable having guests over.
But we talked to another resident who said when you live in a busy city like Atlanta, car break-ins and shootings should be expected. Listen to his strategy.
It's a city, stuff happens, so just gotta be vigilant, be safe. Make sure you keep a gun on you.
His advice, keep a gun on you. Now, Atlanta police have not released the name of that 18-year-old shooting victim. We are live in Midtown. Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
Time now for a look at Skyfox traffic and the evening rush hour. We are following an injury crash on the top end perimeter. It's on I-285 eastbound at New Northside Drive. We're looking at a peek through the DOT camera here. You can see emergency responders on the scene right now. At least 2 right lanes are blocked, and this is creating a jam drive before I-75. We're also staying on top of a crash investigation on the West Expressway. It's heading east before Riverside Parkway. One far right lane remains blocked, causing stop-and-go traffic from Lee Road, so try using Highway 78 as an alternate route.
I'm Morris Biggs. Amid the controversy of a city-sponsored senior event, well, the City Council on Wednesday green-lighted the next party for seniors. Coming up, I'm going to talk to a city leader who investigated the expenditure of more than $100,000 for the 2022 party. That is just ahead.
The college football season kicks off tonight right here on Fox 5. The game between Nebraska and Minnesota in a Big Ten showdown with coverage beginning at 7:30. With the game on Fox 5, you can find all the day's news and weather on Fox Local instead. Fox 5 News at 10 will be streaming there tonight. We invite you to download Fox Local for free on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV device.
Get away with a great deal at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Lease an Elantra for $219 a month, or get $500 bonus cash or 3.29% APR. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
What is Falcons football? It's Grady putting quarterbacks on notice. It's Kyle shredding defenses like a unicorn. It's Tyler breaking tackles like phone screens. It's AJ locking down anyone on his island. It's Drake touching the sun. It's CP breaking another record. What is Falcons football? It's all you dirty birds. Rise up.